Hey everyone, it's Theo from Spectrum Gardening. So today I want to talk about the two main benefits of having snow in your garden. One of the main benefits is insulation. When the snow falls, it gently fills in all the gaps around the plant or around the crown, as you can see in the current behind me. And let's say we get a really hard frost or some wind chill. In fact, in my area, we're going to be going down to about minus 15 degrees during the day and minus 22 degrees at night. So all that snow that's falling around the plant behind me over there, that's going to help protect the crown. Even if the tips like this, like right here, even if they get a bit of frostbite or wind chill, I'm going to have the crown protected and all the tender shoots down there protected. So come spring, they're going to be able to, and the snow melts, they're going to be able to shoot right back up. And even if there is slight damage on the plant will be able to survive. So let's take a close-up of a couple of plants that I have, and I'll explain a little bit more. So if I look kind of uncomfortable in this video, I've got to say it's about minus 4, minus 5 where I am right now. So it's actually pretty cold out. So I've kind of bundled up quite a bit to try to keep warm, and we've got a cold snap coming. Like I mentioned earlier, we're going to have a cold snap, and it's going to be about minus 15 during the day and minus about 23 or 24 at night. So needless to say, I'm not going to be going outside those days. I'm already freezing as is right now, and the thing is, I'm in my full snow jacket and I'm wearing my snow pants and my snow gloves. Needless to say, I don't do too well in the cold. When I typically go out in minus 5 and stuff like that, I'm bundled up like a snowman, like this, that I can hardly move, and I'm just kind of moving around like this. So as I was saying earlier, the snow has fallen pretty much all around the crown of the plant, as you can see, and has buried quite a few of the young shoots, or at least most of the young shoots. This snow actually we've had a few thaws and a few freezes since we've had the initial snowfall. So this one's kind of crusty. As you can see, there's kind of a layer of ice on it now, which is going to be even more beneficial for me in our temperature drops that are coming up. We're going to be going into quite cold air. We're going to have a quite cold snap soon. So that means that if we do have a wind, if the wind does pick up and we do have a good wind chill, it's not going to be able to whip through the snow as easily as it would light fluffy stuff like this. So I've actually transplanted all my currants earlier in the fall, so they're not quite established to where they are now, even though some of them are quite big plants. So we've got this red currant here, and we've got a pink champagne currant over there. Both are kind of in more sheltered areas, so they don't have as much snow on them as compared to other plants. However, I'm confident with the amount of snow that's covering their crown and their base, they'll do fine. They'll come back in the spring. You can actually see over here that little bump, if you can see it right about there. I actually have a small blackcurrant planted there that was actually quite small. And that one's completely covered. So that one I'm not going to worry about too much, because even though it's completely covered in snow, the snow is going to give it great insulation properties. So let's go take a look at some other plants in my garden that's covered by snow. So over here we have the line of roses that I actually planted earlier this fall, and you can see all the base of their crowns are protected by snow. So I'm not going to have to put any additional mulch on them to prevent them from freezes or anything like that. If you live on the west coast, you know how much trouble it is to grow roses here, with all how disease prone they are, and with our wet weather, and with the cold snaps we have and stuff like that. So I'm just going to kind of leave mine just like that, and we'll see how they'll do. I'm confident that they'll come back in the spring. So over here we have the line of blueberry plants, and you can see that the snow around these plants is roughly about 2 feet tall or so, plus or minus a little bit. And I actually have a low bush blueberry plant growing right, I got it planted right in there. You can see a branch sticking out there, and there. That one's completely covered in snow. Again, I'm not worried about that one at all. The snow is going to do its job and help insulate that plant for me. So another benefit of snow in the garden is the nutritional benefit to the soil. For years, snow was called the poor man's fertilizer. What the farmers would do with their first snowfall, if the ground wasn't frozen, they'd go out and they would till the snow into their fields so they could get the benefit of the snow. So what does a snow actually contain, what the farmers were after? Well, it contains nitrogen. It actually it'll give a field roughly 2 to 12 pounds of nitrogen per acre. While that doesn't sound like a lot, think about it in the big scope of things. If you're a farmer, you can't afford fertilizer, you can't afford any inputs to put in your field, that 2 to 12 pounds per acre can help give your crops a boost. So I want to break this down for a second. The snow that's actually falling in the modern days actually has a higher percentage of nitrogen compared to back in the Midwest days, or things like Midwestern days or something like that. The reason for that is because of all the factories and things like that we have in the world right now, and all the pollution from those factories go up into the atmosphere, and they get turned, when the snow comes down, they get turned into nitrogen. So if, let's say, you live in an area that has high rate of factories, they're always turning out things, and they always have pollution going, things like that. That area is actually going to have a higher rate of nitrogen in their soil compared to, let's say, in the middle of nowhere in the Antarctic or Alaska, or even the northwest properties in Canada. It's just the simple breakdown. So the beneficial nitrogen is going to vary slightly from region to region. The other thing that snow contains is trace minerals. So some of the trace minerals that snow contains is potassium, copper, zinc, and sodium. Those are all things that are beneficial and the plant needs to grow to thrive. But before you go out to your garden and start tilling into the snow into your soil, you've got to actually ask yourself, what are the benefits of tilling? What are the benefits of just leaving the snow on top and letting it melt? So there's two different ways of going about it. You can either leave the snow on the top and let it melt like it would naturally, and you can kind of not disturb your soil too much, which I prefer to do. Or you can go out when there's snow on the ground and your ground's not frozen or anything like that, and you can actively till in the soil, till the snow into the soil. That's a lot of work though. I don't like working hard, so I just like to leave my stuff. I like just to leave my snow in place and just kind of let it thaw out. Am I getting the most benefits from the snow? No, I'm not. Probably not. No. However, I'm not disturbing my soil, and the inputs from the snow is so small compared to the amount of energy I'd have to put out. I kind of balance it. Is it worth it to do, or is it not worth it to do? So, what do you do with your snow in your garden? Do you shovel it up against your plants to help insulate them more? Do you till them into your soil? Do you leave them on top of the soil? Or do you not get snow in your region? Let me know in the comments section below, and don't forget to subscribe and like our videos.